Sorry you guys had to see that. It was a little bit of my therapy session with my emotional support animal. Welcome to another installment of AFRO RANTS, the show where I bitch, whine, and complain about bitches, whiners, and complainers. Hopefully you guys are doing well, all things considered. I feel like every time I do an Afro rant, it is like right after some cataclysmic shit happens in the world. I can remember it was a while back, but I had done an Afro rant and then
COVID.
I'm not going to get into the current state of the world because I can't tell you anything that hasn't already been said and done to death. But I just hope you guys are doing okay. The hell do you mean I hope this email finds you well? This email is lucky to find me physically capable at this point. Before we get started, let's go ahead and get the little ad thing that I've made for you guys out of the way so that you know to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Just a quick reminder, if you enjoy this kind of content, you like the videos, you like the stuff I talk about, or you don't. This is apparently the new cameraman, Crow. If you enjoy the kind of content that I make here, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe down below. Any and all of that is appreciated because it helps the channel to beat the algorithm or work with the algorithm. I don't know how everybody wants to phrase it now. It helps the channel grow and gets more people watching it, gets me closer to doing this full time. So if you want that for me, you want to help me out, help Crow out, then do all that stuff I said.
Like, share, sub, and all that.
Bye. So I'm gonna state the obvious. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. While I am sensitive about my artwork, it doesn't mean that I'm like, I can't take criticism or like, I just start fucking bursting into tears every time I finish drawing some shit. I've drawn some pretty deplorable stuff, so to sit here and say that I cry after doing it, it would not be for the reason that I am sensitive, just because I'm questioning the legacy I'm leaving behind and my digital footprint. That being said, what I mean is that I'm more in tune with the energies and the effort that goes into being an artist. Like every piece does mean something to me, and putting that work into my art is just, it's a whole little thing. Like I have to set aside time for it. I have specific playlists that I play, gotta set the mood, that kind of thing. You know, I don't have like, it's not candlelit with roses or whatever, but you know, it's my zone and I get into that zone. That being said, one might wonder what it's like to do that full time, and I kind of don't do it full time, but I am a freelance artist, and I'm somehow trying to awkwardly segue in today's topic. We're going to be talking about freelance artwork and what it's like being a freelance artist and the things
that I fucking hate about being a freelance artist. This is called Afro Rants, not Afro Casually Talks About. So
if you're not into that kind of thing, you're like, you make too much negativity, my aura, I'm an empath, get out, so we don't have to go through that. And if you choose to stick around, that is of your own discretion. However, you are allowed to have an opinion. While you do have an opinion, I am allowed to counter that opinion with being a little shit. So hopefully you can take that. Let's move on. While most artists will try to sell you on the freedom that comes with being freelance, I'm going to keep it a buck fifth with you, as I try to do in any of these. It's shit. It is shit. Like, I have a good time and I enjoy it. Wouldn't trade it for anything else. However, it's shit. And I mean that in the best way possible. It's just a very testing field to be a part of. And I don't just mean freelance art like, you know, doodling and shit. I mean like being a freelance creative in and of itself is, oh, fuck, it is something. It is something, and that's the best way that I can put it. And I enjoy most aspects of it. Of course, I love the part that everybody loves, which is getting paid.
I love not paying taxes.
I'm joking. I enjoy so many different parts of being an artist. I love seeing people's visions and being able to seeing their visions. I'm not a clairvoyant. That's not what I meant. I love seeing what people come up with, and I love taking the time to bring that to life. You know, especially if it's an idea or something that they can't get out themselves. I'm making it. You know what? Yeah, no, that makes sense. I said something in my head, and I'm gonna spit it out now. Sorry, autism, ADHD, they don't work together. I help people that are artistically constipated. I realize I am dancing a fine line when I say that. Stick with me. My job is to basically help people bring their vision to life, and I enjoy that. I enjoy so many aspects of it, but it is not perfect, and like any job, I feel like it has a lot of downsides people don't discuss. I'm gonna discuss my personal ones. We're gonna do it in a list format because I like lists, I like structure.
Autism.
So in this list, I tried to gauge like the things that piss me off the most about being a freelance artist. So these are not in any particular order. However, I will expand upon some more than others, so be prepared for that. I'm sorry if one segment lasts 5 minutes and the next lasts 30 seconds. I don't really run off of a script, so I try to make this as organic as possible.
What the hell?
So I think something that a lot of creatives struggle with, it definitely has to be within the realm of exposure. Trying to beat the algorithm on different forms of social media, trying to consistently put out your work without experiencing burnout, and just like making time to get people to see your shit has gotten harder and harder, although access to the interwebs and whatnot has gotten easier and easier as technology has advanced. I find that funny how that works, actually, because you can jump on anything, create a profile and start posting, but you have to kind of dance through certain hoops in order to get seen. All too often I've kind of dealt with like the limitations of different forms of social media, and those limitations usually fuck me over in the realms of exposure. One of the more infamous ones that I constantly battle with on a post by post basis has to definitely be TikTok. I cannot name another app I have more issues out of. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to like metrics and trying to get my stuff out there, I would say the most steady application would be Facebook. Although people barely use Facebook, it's consistent at least. TikTok every now and then will just pick something random that I've posted. I feel like that's how it goes. I feel like that's how it is. I feel like it picks something random out of one of the posts that I've made, and then it's like, oh, that goes against community guidelines. I have had videos where I drop the word nigga, one more time for emphasis, nigga, 12 times in an episode, or not an episode, in a post. Fine, they're like, okay, cool. Nothing to see here. Bet. I flex my bicep in one fucking post, and they're like, that's against community guidelines. Nudity, you fucking sicko. What? It's very inconsistent as to how that works, and that affects your insights in the long term. Not only that, but then you have some applications that just completely nix your creativity altogether. With Instagram, it went from IGTV to, well, it went from regular posting to IGTV to using hashtags to reels. And I think I speak for everybody when I say that more and more applications are catering to shorter attention spans. I can't talk. I'm surrounded by 3 screens currently. 1, 2, 3. Not counting my phone. But yeah, exposure is a hard thing to kind of maintain, and if you do that already, kudos to you. You probably know how hard it is. I'm slowly watching my channels grow on everything. That's why I kind of just throw the whole like, share, sub, all that good stuff in there, because people do genuinely forget. Like I'll watch a YouTube video and will forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So me personally, I like the constant reminder. Some people hate that stuff, they'll skip past it, whatever. Artists, we live and die off of that shit. So exposure is kind of against us from the get-go. Also, people that use exposure as payment, I'm going to talk about that later. The people that use exposure as payment, eat a dick with no teeth. Just swallow it and choke. To wrap up that section, getting exposure, maintaining exposure, and just trying to find a way to meld that into your normal life before freelance becomes full-time can be a challenge. But to those of you that are watching this that are trying to do that yourselves, just remain consistent, remain steadfast. You got this. It's hard and it will not ever get easier, but the best thing you can do is try to make content ahead of time. Really pace yourself. If you know you've got a big project coming up, really like make room mentally and emotionally to take on that project. And at the end of the day, listen to the few fans that you do have. I have 80 subscribers to the YouTube channel. I have like 598 followers on Instagram. I don't have a lot of numbers in the comparison realm when you try to like put me up against other like content creators and artists. However, if 500 people fuck with my stuff, let's go. I'm cool with that. That's fine. If 5 people fuck with my stuff, that's cool. That's fine. At the end of the day, I believe that, if you do what you love, you'll garner the right audience. Wow, audience? What the fuck is that? It'll grow over time. So just keep at it. But man, does it fucking suck. let's talk about getting paid, because who doesn't like to get paid? Artists, apparently we don't like money. According to you guys, we don't like money. Like, holy fucking shit. That is, okay, setting your prices is already a bitch, because you're gonna be arguing with yourself internally as to whether or not your prices are fair. You're gonna ask yourself, okay, is my work worth X amount of dollars? Not only you're gonna question yourself there, and the imposter syndrome is gonna kick you square in the groin, you're gonna have individuals who are so about your art and they'll contact you, ooh, and these are the worst. These are the worst customers. These are the worst customers. If it were legal, I'd beat them with a stick. They will come to you and they'll say, hey, I like that thing that you do. I want that thing.
Phrasing?
Hey, you're King Spider. Oh my god, bro. Like, you're an artist and stuff, and you create content, man. Like, let me ask you a question, though. Is there any way possible you could make some art for me, brother? Like, I have this vision. I have this thing that I want to do, and...
Sorry, my whole voice changed in the middle of that.
I think you're the perfect guy for it. Like, I love your style. I love your page. You're so funny, bro. I love when you say the N-word. Like, I can't say it, but, it's funny. Yeah, man, so what are your prices?
Then you tell them your prices.
Whoa, brother. Yeah, that's a little steep. I'm gonna have to wait on that. Still sports you. We're in a recession. It's like the third one of the generation, so I'll get back to you on that, but I appreciate you, man. Yeah.
Incredibly inconsistent dramatization aside, pricing is one of the most annoying things to try to discuss. And it is one of the most annoying things to try to gauge, because you're always going to sell yourself
just a little too short.
And that's because a lot of us we just want somebody to like our shit. So we'll bring those prices down, hoping to bring people in because of the cheapness of it. What you're doing is you're devaluing your effort. Like, at the end of the day, I have pens I have to use. I have pencils I have to use. I have paper I have to use. If it's digital, there's software that I have to use that I do have to pay for. It takes up space. I have to buy certain things to use with that software, like certain nibs and pens and this, that, and third, and da. It is a costly process. A lot of times as artists, we forget that we're allowed to charge people for the effort it takes to make the thing that they want. Like, that's the whole point. You're paying for a service. Years ago, I put out like a little PSA or whatever as a reel to not only like garner insights and people to the page, but also to like put it out there, start paying people what they're worth. Like, if you have someone you went to school with who's an amazing creator, whether they're making videos or edits or whatever the case may be, they're putting their heart and soul into content and making art and all this other shit, you're not just paying them. You're paying for their materials. You're paying for their effort and their time. You're paying for, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into the process. And most people, when they hear about art, they think to themselves, oh, blood, sweat, and tears? Really?
Really? Were you crying on your computer? Draw my furry porn.
I would love to take a shot right now at 2 individuals who have yet to pay me for their work. One of them, Philip. No, it's not Philip. He's different. He's a crazy guy. What does he call himself? The dude is a dancer or whatever, and I found out about him through a friend. Leo, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Dude's a piece of shit. I found out about him through a friend, and I did a commission for him. I did an intro for him, I think it was. I did some banners for YouTube. I did another edit for him. I even made tracks from like the ground up, which is something that I provide. So not only did I make visuals, not only did I make like a theme for his tasteless shit, not only did I make music for him, layer that shit, mix it, master it, and all that on my own, but then I did all that and he refused to pay. We were in the middle of a whole commission, bro. He paid for the first half, didn't pay for the second half. It actually had fucked me over because the amount of money that he had owed me was going to go towards my bills at the time. So that was a long time ago. I solved the situation by just not fucking with him anymore, but he still kind of like watches my shit. So if you're watching this, and I think I've mentioned this in another video, but if you're watching this, you ain't shit. The second individual hits a little close to home. Not really, because he wasn't there for 13 years. I'm talking about Willie James Taylor. My dad had commissioned me for it was a promotional thing for a gym that he claimed to be working at. Long story short, he owes me like $498. Never gonna see it because my dad's a grifting piece of shit. Granted, while I have sat here and kind of bitched about freelance and all the things that make it shit, I wouldn't want to do anything else. Like, if I had to bounce from job to job to job to job, but I keep this is my piece, and it was bringing me a source of income, so be it. If I were to be born again and get a chance to reshape my life and piece it bit by bit, brick by brick, path by path, I would still choose to be an artist. Because at the end of the day, I feel like that's what I was meant to do. When you're doing something that you love, like, you're willing to go to incredible lengths just to maintain that. You'll put up with all of the exposure or lack of exposure. You'll put up with people not paying you properly, or people pay you, you just won't raise your prices. You'll put up with the client etiquette and how shitty it may or may not be. You'll put up with a lot of shit, because at the end of the day, this is your dream. This is your baby, and you don't want to stop chasing it for anything or anyone. So if I had to encapsulate all of that, because I try to have an Afro rant and bitch and whine and complain, but I try to have a point to it, and I want to bring this in. At the end of it all, if you're doing what you love, don't stop. Keep doing what it is that you love. Keep giving it your time and your effort and your patience and your blood, sweat, and tears, and it will pay off one day. You know, it may not pay off in the way that you expect, but it will pay off. And then you can turn around and look behind you. You'll be able to turn around and look back and be like, you know what, I did that. I gave it my all, and regardless of the things that went wrong or didn't go my way or took all day to go my way, I still did it my way. For what is a man? Frank Sinatra up in it, bitch. Rat Pack for life. So yeah, that's all I got. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this kind of content from Power Comics, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will keep putting that kind of stuff out. Expect more of this, seeing my face. Oh no, he's hot! And I've also been pumping out phrasing fucking Spider Plays videos nonstop. I think I got like 13 of them bitches, which is pretty good. That's almost one a month, so I'm proud. But I'm gonna definitely take some time back from that and try to put out more of my original type of content, like Power Comics reviews, AFRO rants, the Power Cast, all that good stuff. I've also been very self-conscious about making more Power Cast stuff, just because like the whole like man with podcast thing, and I don't want to be another man with a podcast. So it's you guys have a good Thanksgiving. I think I'm filming this 2 days before. Damn, I can't count. 3 days before. So yeah, if you're watching this on Thanksgiving or the weekend following Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good one. Hope you ate enough. Get back in the gym, jackass.